Welcome to episode 2 of Bread Camp. In our last episode, I gave you a little peek at some of our starter. Nothing much to look at there. I use starter for a lot of the baking that I do. It is an alternative to using yeast. I use it in addition to yeast. It's simply flour and water that has sat around for a while and is making carbon dioxide on its own through fermentation. What I did with this starter was started off with some flour and some water in a container, mixed it up so it was about like pancake batter here. You can kind of get a sense for it. Let it sit for 24 hours and then dumped half of it out, added more flour and water, let it sit for 24 hours. After a week, it's nice and active. Now, it's time to bake. I added the starter from the container here and added some more flour and water, about 4 hours ago. Mixed it up. Now look at how bubbly and active this is. Let's see if I can zoom in with this camera here. You can see actual bubbles coming up to the surface. Notice how it's got little holes and such in it. So this is very active. For this bread, I need 170 grams of this stuff. So let's get our scale out. I love this scale because it auto zeros. When I put the bowl on there, it's smart enough to know that it just sets it right to 0, so it has a built-in tare setting. We're going to turn this over to grams. I don't know how I can do this with one hand. Do you? Let's just zero that. We need 170 grams of this glop. Or so. 170. Huh. Now, what about this glop here? We take this glop and put it back into this container here because this is our starter. We never throw our starter away. So this is going to be even more bubbly tonight and maybe on into tomorrow morning. But this is our bread starter we're going to use right here. Call it our leaven with this loaf of bread we're going to make in episode 3. So that was it. We got the starter going. We added some more flour and water to it. Got it nice and bubbly. Added as much as we need to make this loaf. This goes back in here and we're done. See you next episode.